Welcome back, guys. It's been a little while since I put a video up. That's because I've been I bought this old boat. I decided, yeah, it's been a while since I've had a boat, so I thought I'd buy one again, but I couldn't really afford to go out and buy something newer because, yeah, I'm building a new house and I've got all these cars I play with and like to spend money on. So rather than depleting my bank account with paying off loans on boats and stuff, I prefer to buy stuff on the cheap and fix it myself. So yeah, there's a boat here. I'm going to do a separate video on that. I'm not going to bother boring you with it. The latest experiment was the top of the boat. It needed to be painted again. My son didn't like it. It was too old and shabby. So rather than just going plain white, I decided to muck around with a nice metallic. So I went to Super Cheap Auto and I got a new Mazda colour called Mazda Snowflake Pearl Mica. So it's a little bit different to what I've used before. So you put the base coat on, the white, and then you put the pearl over top. But when you put the pearl on there, you cannot see for the life of you how it's going on or anything. It's only when you put the clear over top that it really starts to pop. So I don't know how well you can see it in the camera, but it's absolutely beautiful. Has a really nice sparkle to it. So got me thinking, you know, maybe I could do that with a coupe, put like a pearl over it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to complicate the coupe because it's got big, beautiful panels. And you could easily stuff it up. Plus I want to keep it sort of original. I don't want to play around too much with this car. The only modifications are going to be just upgrading it to make it more reliable. But so yeah, I got shit all through the car. Like, I got nowhere else to store it, so I just piled all crap through the coupe. And since I've painted the top of the boat, it's just going to be assembling now. Just going to make new windows, but it's just all easy stuff, really. It's all cracked and shit. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. But yeah, I'll have to do another video. The doors turned out to be a nightmare. As you can see, they're laying down flat. I got to the point where I was about to paint this car and then got the doors out in the sun and I realised, shit, they're no good. They are dog crap. The body lines, looking in the sun, and as you go down in the sandpaper and you get to finer grits, you start to realise, you know, all the little gremlins of shapes of the panels start to come out. So I'm not going to bother with those doors. I'm just going to take the skins off, and I've got new skins in the house I've just ordered, $1,000 each. But I'm going to do one separate video on the doors. It's going to be hands-on, a lot of attention to what I'm doing, GoPro action, all that. I'm going to try my videos now, rather than just focusing on talking. I'm going to focus on the content that you guys want to see, and that's like action, raw footage, that sort of shit. So, but today's mission is, my mate's got a beautiful Ford Falcon XC GXL. So this bonnet is in really good condition. The paint on it, I think it looks like a cobalt blue. It's a metallic. Beautiful colour. So this bonnet, well, the paint job apparently is like 15-year-old. He's had the car for I don't know how many years now, but he bought it as it is. I think it's from Queensland. Here's the car. Yeah, so it's a beautiful car, but what's happened, he's bought the new hinges for it. New hinges, and he's gone to close the bonnet, and I don't know if the hinges are too tight or the adjustment wasn't right, but it's actually damaged. It's damaged underneath. Exactly the same problem that I've seen on many of these bonnets, reading forums and stuff. So mine had severe damage. Yeah, this is the bonnet off the coupe, but it had severe damage with one side. This side was actually bent, where someone tried to force the bonnet closed and they severely bent it underneath. So I've got a video I done on this a long time ago where I took the skin off it. I actually reinforced it where the hinges are. But this bonnet's just about done. I've just got to muck around the lines here. Got to blend them in. Yeah, so looking over this bonnet, it's got the beautiful chrome strip across the front. I hate to think how much that'll be worth to buy again if you can even find one. So yeah, it's in really good condition. Unfortunately, someone's cut a hole in it many years ago, and obviously for the high-rise manifold and filter, and for the filter have somewhere to go. and that holes here are probably where a scoop's been there in the past. But yeah, it's in really good condition. So if the first things I looked at with this bonnet to see the condition of it, as soon as you told me that you had problems with the hinges and bending underneath, I had a look at the skin and it appears to be in really good condition still. Honestly, if I had this bonnet, apart from the dirty hole, yeah, I'd patch that hole. I'd actually use this bonnet. It's in really good condition. You can see like there's a faint little dent there where someone's put a bolt in it too long and it's pushed through from the other side. But yeah, so what I'll do now, I'll flip it over and we'll have a look at the damage. So first looking under this, tiny bit of separation in different areas, but it's in really good condition. Sometimes I don't paint under here. Mine had paint on it. I took the skin off. Can't tell with this one. But yeah, it's very original. It's in really good condition. Mine was severely rusted all across here. A little bit of rust there, but nothing to worry about. Just treat it, seal it up, stop it getting worse. But so damage, very minimal damage in my opinion. But see, it's got stress cracks here, across here, it's starting to push in here. Nothing really bad, but this side here is the worst. It's actually creased. As soon as I seen that, I thought, yep, the skin's going to be bent. But checking it with I've got a millimeter spline here. Just checking it. It's hard to do it with holding the camera, but yeah, I checked it and it looks pretty good. So what I'll do, I'll you see where it's all pushed in here. I'll have to protect this area around it. Dress all the paint back and start correcting it. Might have to get the slide hammer, the weld-on rods, pull it out a bit. But I wouldn't mind putting something underneath here and doing plug welds. Get a bit of a strength back, because these new hinges he got for it, they might have might be a little bit too stiff. I don't know. People talk about the hinges, you've got to buy new ones, and that's the first thing I looked at of mine. But here's mine here. I looked at them and yeah, I looked at my hinges and I'm like, no, they're really knackered. I don't know. But yeah, I just muck around the holes, making them a little bit bigger in different areas, and yeah, I managed to get the bonnet to close pretty damn good. So put them away. Shit everywhere. Running out of room. But yeah, you might have got new hinges and they're a bit too stiff. So that could have caused it, but all I can do is really correct it, make it a little bit stronger, and yeah, you can put it back on the car and hopefully it's all good from that point forward. But I'd say over the years it's just gradually gotten weaker, stress, age. So I've got this beast tool used for pulling out dents, correcting panels and stuff. So yeah, got it off eBay ages ago. I've hardly ever used it, but when I did use it, I found it really handy. So what I'll do now, there's a bit of a low spot in here. So I'm thinking it might be a good idea to start cleaning this up. So I've got this wire and whatever it's called. So that's a hard to get to spot, so that's the wire brush has done its thing. So I'll get a paint removing disc now. So I'm going to concentrate and just clean this area up. Paint removing Scotch-Brite head on it. So I don't really want to take... See, it's got a bit of primer filler in there. So I don't want to take too much off. So what I'll do now, I'll go get me well on rods and I'll pull that out. So I've got the tool already. I like to use these washers. I find them really good. So I've got to get this in the right spot. It's pretty tight. We'll see how we go. Put it right there. So it's in a good spot. The ones that the panel shops uses, obviously they're a lot faster than this. This is a very slow method of doing it, but it was pretty cheap to buy for eBay and it's pretty universal. But if I was doing this full-time basis here, I'd use a lot better tool. So what I'll do now, I've got this slide hammer, so I'll just put it in here. Tighten it up a bit, it's a bit loose. See if we can pull it out a bit. Unfortunately the camera moved around. Unlimited room and tools. So that's pulled it out heaps. I'll just get a ruler and we'll check it out. Don't know how well you can see it. There's still a bit of a gap there, so you have to pull it out a bit more. It's going to take a bit of muck around to get it right, but yeah, I'll have another go and see how it comes out. Almost got it now. Didn't realise how strong this metal is. I suppose it'd have to be. Hold the hinges and stuff. So I'll just put in there and give it one good strike. That done nothing. Try again. Try again. Don't touch it, it's hot. A little bit more. This side's pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna get it perfect, but get it better than what it was. Clean it up a bit. Flapper disc, a mini one, brilliant. Another one on there. You can't rely on one little weld, you have to do it over and over. So I ended up pulling it out, but then unfortunately this bloody welding tool, it just shit itself. It was making noises and it just stopped. I don't know what the hell's wrong with it. I don't know. I don't care, I'm going to get a better one eventually. So yeah, just measuring here, it looks pretty good. It's not perfect, it's probably about a mil or so gap there, but all I'm doing is getting the puller, putting this hook under it and just pulling it from that, like that. So all I do now is just have to weld. Having a lot of problems with the GoPro. It keeps pausing and having all sorts of problems. I haven't used it for ages. I've kept it charged. So what I'm going to do here, you don't need a special tools with this tiny hammer. So I'm going to crack this bit here. It's easy. GoPro, unfortunately GoPros haven't got very good zooms. Well, this is a GoPro 7, so it's getting on a bit now. It's cracked in that bit there. That bit there, probably use some pliers just to pop it out a bit. Line it up again. the paint's flaking off there. So yeah, just a matter of getting the tool down, stressing the back a bit. Really handy, these things. I've got a brand new one here. They last for ages. Got these little paint removing one. So all that's ready to go now. It's just to, really, in all honesty, you're meant to, you're trying to create penetration. But the thing is, with this old metal, I found it, yeah, it's unpredictable. If it's even slightest bit dirty, you're going to get all sorts of shit happening. Where it doesn't weld very well. So what I'll do now, I'll get a bit of acetone and just clean it up. And I've got preset settings on the MIG welder just to have it pretty close. But yeah, I just don't want to have too much amps. I don't want to start creating a mess. Realistically, this is probably just fatigue over the years that's caused it to get it warped and bent like this. I don't really know. I haven't had much to do with these cars in owning them and driving them and stuff. I really just got a bit of experience of working on them and reading up on them and that. So really difficult to do this. Trying to get the angles, lighting, a lot of wind outside. And I found this this helmet I've got, I try to weld outside and it doesn't work properly, unfortunately. It's a good quality one too. So I'll just weld up this crack here. The settings are pretty good. Yep, that's all it took. Let's go to over here now, see if I can get the camera closer for you. You can see a crack, if you can see it. It's a fine crack there, so get ready. I'll just do a little slow little whirl. I'll dress that back. And I'll see it's a tiny bit more. Yep. I'll have to dress that back, it's a tiny bit need to do there, but yeah, overall it's pretty good. Dress this weld back. It's gonna take a while, won't boys with this. I didn't want to dress the welds right back. See them here. So I've created a tiny bit of a low. I'll put filler over top of it. Yeah, so if you grind the weld completely back, you're gonna lose a lot of your strength. So yeah, I use a bit of this adhesion promoter. Good shit that. Use on plastics and steels and stuff. For this bloody filler, very fine. Mix some up. I'll just get a little bit of it. Don't need much, just to... I've got that special adhesion promoter on there. Way too much. Get in there, make sure it gets in those little nooks and crannies. Let that go off. Dress it back. And then, yeah, that should be it. I'm hoping the hinges he's got aren't too stiff, because this could happen all over again, which sucks. For this wonderful Ryobi 18 volt multi-purpose tool, so that'll be really good for getting in here and sanding it back. If you ever want to wipe away bog dust, you don't want to use compressed air, or you don't want to make noise, bit of microfiber cloth, wipe it straight off. That's pretty good. It's good to get in here now, but pretty hard to do it with the camera. As you can see, you don't need a lot. More or less just to make it look a little bit presentable. You can see there's a bit of a high there. Not too worried about that. I can correct it. It's not a biggie. Tools. Yep, that's nice. Bit there to do. Nice. I put a bit of primer filler over that and give it a scuff over. Yeah, should look pretty good. It's taped off the surrounding area. It's got these special sanding sponges. I've got all different grades, but this one's a 500/600. So get in there and just scuff the paint up around it. I'll get a bit of methylated spirits. Good thing about Mepho, it cleans good and it evaporates real quickly. Got Mepho here. That's it. Bloody GoPro, I haven't had the camera so close to the job. So yeah, just go over it. Part of it sorted. Got a bit of this Concept Paints primer. Find the bloody thing. Fill up the coats. And I'll give it a light sand. It's a damn shame, Tom, you haven't got any touch-up paint for it. I'd paint it up and blend it in and all that stuff, but oh well. It is what it is. Yeah, that side's finished. Really would have loved to put the I think Tom did tell me this was cobalt blue. Nice to put a bit of cobalt over it and blend it in a bit, but yeah, I haven't got the paint. But he said he's got the guard of the car's damaged. He had a bit of mishap getting it off a car float or pushing it out of a shed or something, so he's going to get the guard repaired, and while he's at it, he'll get paint, get this sorted. So look at this side here, and yeah, the damage is pretty severe. It's a bit pretty badly out of shape, but it doesn't appear to have cracked as much. So I think the important thing is to make sure where the crack is that you really weld it good, because that's the point where it'll tear. Here as well, but yeah, here's the bad part with this. So we'll have to dramatically pull that out, get this flat. You knock it out and then tap it down. Yeah, weld that up. Use a bit of filler, but yeah, this should be pretty easy. I won't waste my time with that bloody weld on puller tool. It's just, yeah, it's crap. I don't know if there's anything wrong with it. Might just be needed cleaning up here or something. I don't know. But I'll get in here, be on it with a hook. Get in there. Get in there and pull it out. I've got another kit I've got stored. I can get in there and use other tools to get in there. Put a bit of effort into it. Can't get it perfect for the life of me. It's really difficult. There's like for anyone that's had these bonnets apart, had the skin off, there's like a section that goes sort of in behind it like that, and it has a lip sticking out either side to give pretty much ties all this area together. So what's happened is pushed in down. So what I've done, I've lifted up this whole area. Well, this was, see, it's flat there. You go across to here. There's a little bit of a gap here. The rest of it's flat. So running and everything here is so tight. I've got no room. So yeah, I think that's about as far as I can go with it. So I'll dress this whole area back. I'll put welds in here, but just off correcting that, it's brought this back. It's brought that back. I didn't even have to touch it. So yeah, even that's come back heaps. So yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, this actually be easier on the other side in regards to welding and dressing the welds back. So yeah, I'll have this wrapped up, and then Tom can put it back in his car and enjoy it and drive it on weekends like he wanted to yesterday and day before. I won't bother using any filler. It's all come back really good. It's not 100% perfect, but I mean, hell of a lot better. I didn't even have to put any welds into that. When I pulled this out, it all come back. So unfortunately the paint cracked a bit, so I had to take a bit off, but use a bit of this acrylic. Thought I had filler, primer filler, but I've only got it in the big tin, 4-litre tin. So yeah, I'll just put a bit of primer over it, and yeah, that'll be it. So you see this hinge here. This is obviously off my XB, but you see it goes on like so. So you can see the area where it's stressed over in there. So when you're trying to force the bonnet closed, that's where the main area gets stressed. But I've naturally put witness holes in this hinge. So yeah, these are the originals, but I managed to get them to work right. But you see right there, see those little holes? That's given me indication about where it needs to go back on, because you can spend hours trying to get the bonnet and the guards and that to line up right. So that's what I've been doing. I've done it with this car, but I'll learn it off the Escort, because yeah, it's nothing worse. You've repainted the car, you're putting the panels back on, and all the mucking around trying to get it right. You can easily chip the corners, which I've done in the past. It sucks. So found that way you can just put it on, line the holes up, witness holes, and then yeah, it just goes straight on. I've pulled the Escort's engine out probably 10 times in the last 5 years, more than that, can't even count. So yeah, I just pull the bonnet off, witness holes, put it straight back on, closes, lines up perfect. So now I'm done with this bonnet. I'll flip it over. Tom said that the paint on this, 15 years old, it's getting a bit old and daggy. I think it's acrylic, but I'll show you how good it can come back. So I'll give this section here, you can see there's a scratch. So I'll see if we can get that out. I've only got the correction glaze. The stuff I've got this other stuff, but I want it to be rubber. It'll take the scratches out, but I'll probably just go over this. Just do that little section there. That way when he gets the paint colour matched, he'll have a section he can use maybe. I'm just curious to see how good this comes up. It's got the buffer ready. I don't just use ordinary cheapo pads either. This is 3D. The brand's 3D. It's some special. It's got like honeycomb sort of slots in it. But yeah, it really bites in and takes heaps of meat off. But yeah, at the same time, it does a really good job. And yeah, see how we go. Don't ever let people say that because your paint's old, it can't be brought back. Yes, it might have effects from age, cracking, and all the usual stuff, hazes from the age, but just check this out. It's like a mirror. Didn't need a really deep cut, just a really fine one. That's amazing. So what I'll do now to top it off, this new generation turtle wax. I usually wouldn't use turtle wax. I'll go for the bigger brands, Auto Glim, Maguire's, Mother's. But yeah, I think I used this stuff in the Escort before Summernats. And yeah, the car gave it heaps of pop. So you don't need much of it, just a little bit. So I'll just put a bit on this corner. And I'll take a good photo and send it to Tom. He could, yeah, compare it to other colours. But it looks to me like a cobalt. So yeah, see how we go. Yep, absolutely mint. Look at that. I dare say it's acrylic. I reckon it would cut back. It was really easy to cut. 2-packs usually heaps harder. I could get a smear of acrylic thinners and just let it rub off probably. That's how you can tell if it's acrylic, but no, I don't do that. Well, I'll do the whole bonnet, but yeah, I've got other stuff I want to do. So yeah, I'll wrap it up for this video. So yeah, the next video I'll upload will be the doors. We'll get onto that soon. And yeah, just the boat. But yeah, I'll probably upload the video same time, the boat video same time as this bonnet. But yeah, awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch up with you later.